Just 2 hours ago, a couple came to the depths of the jungle. Leave my daughter alone in the car and wait. There are dangers everywhere in this deep mountain and old forest. Suddenly a white car appeared. They spotted the girl in the car at a glance. Your chance is here. I? Yes, no problem. Bearded, go to see if there is anyone else. Huang Mao wanted to try to open the car door. The girl was frightened in an instant. You can tell by his looks. Must not be a good person. Mom and dad are not around. The girl decisively blew the horn. I hope my father can come back soon. Huang Mao is afraid of being discovered. His emotions become agitated. The girl is still honking the horn. Hear the sound. They finally realized that something was wrong. The man puts the child into his wife's hands. Rushed back alone. The bearded man raised his shotgun at the glass, beckoning the girl to get out of the car. Face such a threat. He can only obey. The girl was shivering with fright. Huang Mao is still staring at him. At this time, Dad finally arrived. The girl only saw some hope. Mother hurriedly hid her son. But in the meanwhile, the girl's father has been knocked to the ground. The two pulled him up and left. Fortunately, Mom arrived in time. Flicked the yellow hair from behind. The girl turned around and ran when she saw it. Suddenly a gunshot. He stopped immediately. The bearded man aimed a gun at his dad. The girl dared not move anymore. The family was tied up 3 times like this. Huang Mao also walked along his Apple 13. Then he pressed him on the car. The girl was terrified. Then the 3 were taken to the depths of the woods. Huang Mao found the boy in the phone. But as a mother, it is impossible for him to tell the whereabouts of the child. Then you can imagine the consequences. The big beard tied them directly to the tree. He asked Huang Mao to practice his marksmanship. Obviously Huang Mao didn't want to kill them. But this is all. He has no choice. The man died on the spot after a gunshot. Then the beard aimed at the woman again. After finishing, the two found their tent. But the little boy is not here. Right now in the jungle far away. A little boy is looking for his mother everywhere. But the child doesn't know. His parents have been brutally killed by these 2 people. Lena passed by here the next day. At this time, I didn't notice the child behind me at all. Boyfriend Jack also repairs the car. Suddenly I heard Lena's cry. They finally found the boy. At this time the child is dying. Fortunately, there is still breathing. Jack told him to hurry up and get the heat. Lena acted immediately. He asked where the child's parents went. Obviously the child can't speak. He asked where the child's parents went. Obviously the child can't speak. After some treatment, the 2 don't know where the child's parents are going. I can only put him in my car first. Suddenly a white car appeared. It was Huang Mao, the murderer of S-Man yesterday. They regarded him as a good man. Huang Mao glanced at the child thoughtfully, and then go back to his car. Picked up a shotgun. He asked Jack to accompany him to find the whereabouts of the child's parents. At this time the 2 didn't think much. Don't you know that their danger is coming? Just like this, Jack accompanies him on the road. Lena was sitting in the car alone and waiting. Suddenly another car drove over. It's Huang Mao's team hair. Lena took care of the child again. Say it again. But Jack suddenly stopped here. Because he found a woman who was tied up. It's the boy's mother. Jack hurriedly removed the tape on his mouth. Woman just wanted to talk. He was shot and killed by Huang Mao. The beard hears the sound here. Turn around and leave. Lena feels something is wrong. Hurriedly hid in the car. At this time he has picked up the shotgun. I haven't waited for Lena to react. He broke the car window directly. Reach out to open the door. Suddenly Lena cut her arm with a knife. He grinned in pain. At this time, Lena picked up the child and ran away desperately. The beard quickly bandaged the wound back. Then release his bit big. Started a crazy pursuit. Jack still doesn't know what's wrong. Then he threw the yellow hair to the ground, got up and ran into the woods. There is a mess in the jungle now. Lena, holding the baby, has completely lost its direction. The beard stopped suddenly. His pit bull is also missing. Jack found a good place to hide. Huang Mao is slowly approaching him, suddenly turning around and raising his hand as a shot. Huang Mao has practiced marksmanship for 30 years. I have always played well. He successfully killed his teammate. Second uncle, I'm really sorry. At this time the child started crying non-stop. Huang Mao has found them. Lena is trying to escape quietly, turns around and almost didn't get scared to death. Huang Mao has pointed the gun at himself. Boyfriend Jack is by the side at this moment. I watched my girlfriend being held hostage. The child is crying again and again, but he didn't have any idea. Huang Mao snatched the child from Lena, put him on the ground. child is unclear. But this man must be hidden. Lena is completely desperate at this time. He didn't even know that his boyfriend was by his side. Just watched Lena being taken away with my own eyes. The great man finally stood up. He looked at the child in front of him, then decisively ran back to the car. Started a strong ideological struggle. Here Lena has fallen on the tree by yellow hair. He believes that his boyfriend will come to rescue him. And Jack finally made a decision. That's the best strategy. Hear the sound of the car starting. Even Huang Mao looks down on him a bit. In order not to be discovered, he put Lena down from the tree. Then drive him to chase Jack. Lena believes Jack must have saved the child. Then he slammed the steering wheel. The car hit the tree directly. Wait for Lena to wake up again. Found myself tied to the car. Huang Mao is now gone. Finally Jack drove over with the police car. Lena finally saw hope. For safety reasons, Jack is still sitting in the car. 2 police officers got off the car to check the situation. The result was headshot. 2 more shots followed. Jack's first reaction: still drive away. Suddenly a shot hit him in the arm. Pain makes him grin. At this time Lena broke off the rope and ran out. But how can Huang Mao let him go easily? He used Jack as a threat. As long as Lena doesn't show up again, he just shot Jack in the head. Oh, save me. Lena still ran out of her own accord. Jack is finally relieved now. Lena hurriedly asked him how he was injured. And how is the child? But Jack didn't report the child away at all. Lena couldn't believe it. At this time the child is still lying in the wilderness. Pitbull is always by his side. Huang Mao asked Lena to drive him here as soon as possible. But Lena has mixed feelings. He stepped on the accelerator. The car accelerates instantly. Then slam the direction the car rolls over. Not long after, Huang Mao crawled out from behind. He still wants to reach for a gun. Turns out Lena pushes the door, pinch his arm, and then push him to the ground with all his strength. Picked up a rock and smashed it down. The battle is finally over. And Jack is always sleeping. The next day, Lena wakes up from the hospital, looking at Jack who just woke up. Fortunately they are not married yet. Lena has other options. A famous bad dog. He still knows to guard the child. And as a man, you can actually keep your eyes open. Watching my wife being bullied. Siri in our reality. No such person exists. I'm a lazy cat. See you next time.